अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तिशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थशुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8, verse number 40. So we've been reading Krishna's showing the universe in his belly. He ate clay and the boys, the friends of Krishna, they complained, and Mother Yashoda asked to open the mouth. When Krishna opened the mouth, then she saw this whole universe inside. So that's what we've been reading, and then she was struck with wonder at what actually is this. So therefore this verse describes her conjectures. She is trying to understand, because this is something unusual. You don't see something like this in the mouth of any human being. So now you're seeing, when we experience something, we try to comprehend our experience on the basis of our past experience, intellect, or what we have heard. If we cannot understand, then She may become confused, bewildered, astonished, disturbed. So this is what she said. Kim swapna etadut deva maya kim va madiyo vat buddhi moha atho musyaiva mamarbhakasya ekaschana utpattika atma yoga. So kim swapna etad. So is it a dream? Am I dreaming? People do daydreaming. So she is saying that, am I daydreaming? So she thought, no, I'm not dreaming, I'm awake, it's not time to dream. So then she gives the next option, etad uta deva maya. Or is it the maya or some creation, some magic manifested by some devas? So that also, she thought, why should they do that? What is the need for that? I'm not such an important person. So kimva madiyo but buddhi moha. Or is it just an illusion of my buddhi, my mind, my intellect? Am I having some psychosis? Some hallucination? I didn't take any drug. I did not smoke or drink, so that is not possible. So therefore she says, yeah, kaschana utpattikaha atma yoga. Or is it some power of my son only, that he has some natural power? Utpattika means some natural powers he has, because in the past they have experience of his powers, killing Putana, kicking the big cart, killing Trinavarta. So all these things happened in the past, so therefore she is saying kaschana utpattika atma yoga. So this is how she is conjecturing. So tadrusha darshanasya karanam vitarkayati. So she is making conjectures of what she is seeing, because she has to understand it. It's a natural characteristic of human mind that if something we experience, then we want to make some sense out of it. Otherwise it will keep on disturbing us. So what is it? Unless we don't have the mind, or we have and some yeah, sometimes people are in some altered state of consciousness, then they don't make any effort to understand. Sab chalta hai, everything goes, whatever is there. So karanam vitarkayati kim swapna etad darshanam kim swapna hetukam. So this is a dream, means this experience which I am seeing is caused by the dream. When mind goes into the dream state, then it can experience things which are not experienced in normal state of cognition. Things which we see when we are awake and everything is normal, we may experience in the dream some abnormal things. And this was certainly abnormal. So you can actually see something inside the belly, not when you are awake. So therefore she says, is it that I am dreaming? So nahi nahi. So then she says, no, that's not true. I am not sleeping. Nidranasya nayana kalushyadi abhavat. So he says that I am not sleeping. When you sleep and your eyes are different. So I am very much awake. People try to pinch themselves. So she pinched herself and she felt the pinching sensation. So she said, I am awake. So therefore she says, Tat kim deva maya. So then is it the maya of some devas? So then says, nahi nahi. That's also not possible. Why should it be there? Why? Mama nikrishtaya mohane devanam prayojana bhavat. Why should devatas try to put me in this kind of bewilderment? What would they achieve? I'm not some important person who is causing them some trouble, or they have to gain something. So if devas are going to do something, then they must have some purpose behind it. They must achieve something from it. Otherwise, why would they do anything like that? So he says that's also not possible. Tarhi ki madiya eva kasyid buddhi moha viparyasa. Or is it that it is just my own intelligence which is in the viparyasa? There are 5 types of vrittis, right? Pramana, then nidra, viparya is there. Where viparya means where you mistake something else for something else. When you don't see or experience things as they are, that is called viparya or viparyas. So there is nothing like that. Also there is vikalpa. So vastu, shabdarth, sabdgyana anupati, vastu sunya vikalpa. When there is no object as per the understanding from the shabda, that is called vikalpa. So is it that? So then she says that nahi nahi swasthya samaye samprati mama buddhi moha karana bhavat. He says I see no reason that I should have any buddhi moha, any delusion, because I am quite healthy, I am normal. I see other things normally, because she is seeing the children around, Balram, the boys, cows, everything is normal except for this particular thing. When she is seeing in his mouth, then only buddhi moha, how should that be explained? If there is a buddhi moha, or if there is a swapna, if there is a dream, then it will be everywhere. Everything, it's not that one part is looking as you are awake and the other part is dream, or one part is normal, another part is some viparyas. So how is that possible? So that is also not possible. Also the conditions, sometimes my mind can be normal, but the situation outside, there may be some mirrors which can project things differently, right? Some lens is there, it's magnifying or presenting, like those crazy mirrors are there. So it is also not a reflection. You can also think that the world is reflecting. So that is also not, because things are normal. When you reflect, then the left appears right and so on. It's also not that there is some darkness. You can mistake rope for a snake or a snake for a rope. So there is no possibility of viparyas like that. So therefore it says buddhi moha karana abhavat, that I don't see any cause for any such bewilderment of my mind. Atho, so then this is the last possibility she thinks of. Atho athva, atho here means athva, or amushya mama balkasya narayana sapo gunaihi iti garga varnita maha prabhavatvat kasyana chintya atmayoga atmiyam ashvat. So, or is it some supernatural power of my son? Because Garga Muni has said when he gave the name, or doing the name giving ceremony, that he will have, or he has qualities like Narayana. So if he has qualities like Narayana, then he can do things like this. So that is the meaning of Atma Yoga. Yoga here means Aishwarya. That he has got some special powers. Yoga means some special power. Aishwarya means something which can produce extraordinary effect. That is the meaning of yoga. So he must have that, which are not conceivable to my mind. Logically, it is not possible that small child like this can produce such an effect. But because Garga Muni, he predicted that Narayana Samoguni, that he has qualities equal to Narayana. Therefore, that is possible that such a thing is happening. Then she continues, Atho yathavanna vitarka gocharam cheto manah karma vacho bhiranjasa yadashriyam yena yatah pratiyate sudirvibhavyam pranatasmi tatpadam. Then she takes to the final decision that certainly this is something which is done by God Himself, because He cannot be understood by any tarka. Na vitarka gocharam or tarka go atarka go vitarka gocharam atarka gocharam cheto manah karma vacho bhiranjasa. It is not possible to understand Him by our mind, intellect, activities or speech. And this whole world is sheltered in Him, Yadashrayam, and it is maintained by Him, and it comes from Him. So I take shelter of Him only, who is Sudurvibhavyam, who is beyond anyone's any concept. So I just surrender to Him. Whatever it may be, I cannot say, but certainly it is an effect of His power. So that means she does not want to attribute this ultimately that my son has, although she said that he has qualities like Narayana, but by that it means that Narayana's qualities can become manifest in him, not that they are his qualities, but Narayana can make his qualities manifest in him, because she cannot give up the concept that he is my child. So that is the power of the love of Yashoda. Therefore she says, Pranatasmi tatpadam. I take shelter of his feet, means Narayana. Chaturtham tarkamapi tat swaputre kshutpipasha mogdhya chanchalyadi darshanena asambhavya स्वबुद्ध्या कमपि निश्चयं कर्तुम अशक्नुवति सर्वतर्क अगोचरस्यापि वस्तुनो वस्तुतः कारणं भगवानेव इति सामान्यतो निश्चिन्वति तत्पदाम्बुजं सुतः स्वस्तिकामा प्रणमति अथ इति. So even the fourth option, that this is the quality of my son, that she is not able to ascertain or remain fixed on that. Why? Because she says, I see my son becoming hungry, thirsty, and doing all these naughty things and speaking like very innocent child. How can he have such powers? He is dependent on me. And then he goes and does all these things to the gopis, stealing butter, making fun, breaking pots, releasing the calves. So with all this, she cannot think that this boy has anything like this. Because this, on one side, she sees his activity just like other children do, normal. So how is that suddenly he is going to manifest some power like this? If this power he has, then he will be doing this all the time. Every day we will see something. Right? But it's not happening like that. So therefore she is nishchayam kartum asaknavati. She was not able to fix her mind on this understanding of Krishna. So therefore what she does is that she says, I don't understand it, what it is. But I know one thing, that God is beyond all conception of mind. Sarva tarka gocharasya api vastuno vastuta karanam bhagavane. So anything and everything, it is caused by Bhagavan, who is beyond mind. So I surrender to him. And why do I surrender? Because I don't want that anything happen to my son. All this magical thing which I see in his mouth, this should not cause some harm to him. Therefore, she takes shelter of him only, authority. Yathavat yatharthyena naiva vitarkasya gocharam. So, God cannot be ascertained by logic. It is not possible. Klibatvam arsham. Klibatva and tarka gocharam is arsha. It should be masculine gender. Drishyamanam asharyamidam yadashrayam yayasya adhishthanam. So this asharya, this wonderful scene which I am seeing, it is all sheltered in him only. So yad ashrayam. Not that it is the ability of my son, but it is something which is being sheltered in him. Yataha yascha asya utpatti hetu. And he is the cause of this. Yena pratiyate yasya cha asya pratiti hetu, and it is being experienced only by his power. Tatpadam tasya bhagavataha padam charanarvidam. So tatpadam pranatasmi, I take shelter of his feet. Chetas chittam. So cheta here means chitta. Tadadibhi pranatasmi sudar vibhavyam. So I take shelter with my chitta, with my manas, with my activities, with my speech, because I cannot meditate on him, sudar vibhavyam. It is not possible for me to meditate on him. Madrishi nam dhyatum ashakya mata kevalam pranamami. So therefore I only bow down to his feet. Saevasya matsutasya sarvanishtam prasamayatu iti bhava. So what is the sense? The sense which is not stated in the verse is that he may quell all this unnecessary appearance which I am seeing. Let it all come to an end, so that nothing wrong happens to my child. So that is her prayer mentally. And now with all this, she becomes little detached, because she thinks, what is all this going on? And who am I actually? I am nobody. I am only having false identification. So aham mamasau patire same suto व्रजेश्वरस्य अखिल वित्तपासति गोप्यश्च गोपः स गोधनाश्च मे यन्माया इत्थं कुमति समे गतिः. So he says that very Lord be my shelter, by whose maya, by the influence of his deluding potency, I am having this wrong concept of thinking I am this body, all this belongs to me, this Nanda Maharaj is my husband, this boy is my child, and I am the controller of all the wealth and possessions of Nanda Maharaj. Vrajeshwarasya akhila vittapasati. Vittapa means protector of wealth. And I think all these cowherd people, the cowherd ladies, they are under my control because Nanda Maharaj is like the chief. So she is the wife of him, along with the cows. Saha godhanascha me. So he says it's all because of wrong thinking, which is caused by the maya of Bhagavan. So I take shelter of him. Please get me out of this maya. I don't want this. Release me so that I become self-realized who I am. So this what she says, and this is what scared Krishna. He said, if this happens, all the game is over. I don't want this. Who will be my mom then? If mom takes sannyas, how do I get my butter? So he got worried. He thought he is putting her into this wondrous state. She says, okay, I'm nothing, I'm nobody. So hanta saiva sutasya asya data. So he says, of course, only he is the one who gave me this child. I do not have any progeny for a long time, and it is by the grace of Narayana that I got a son. So I should not become lost in that. I should remember him only. Saiva rakshitapi bhavedeva, and he is the protector. It is he who is protecting him from Putana, from Shaktasura, Trinavarta and all this. Tatra mama punar ajñāya kim ahankara mamakara bhyamiti tau jihasati Sri Vishnum prapadyamana prahamiti. So he says, I am just ignorant village woman, and I am having unnecessary ego of thinking that I am the chief of all these gopas, etc. and all this belongs to me. So I want to renounce all this and just take shelter of Vishnu. Sarv dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. So he wants to give up even Krishna and take shelter of Narayana. So that's interesting. So akhila vittapa nikhila dhana rakshana bhimanvati. So I have this wrong thinking that I am the owner, I am the protector of all this wealth, all the cows and so on. Gopyaschaiti gopinam gopanam sarva godhananam cha hem eva swamini. So I am the swamini, I am the owner, mistress, queen of all these gopas, cowherd people, ladies, cows, whatever they have. So Maharaji, I am the Empress. Iti abhimani yatha kumati. So I have this wrong abhiman, wrong identity, pride. So this is my kumati. This is my bad intelligence. So false thinking. Tatheva lokottarasya asya sarva vraja jan prana bhutasya balkasya aham mata ahemeva palayatri दान ध्यानादिभिर विप्रदेवादि आराधनेर नित्यम विष्णु पूजनश्च सर्वनिष्ठेभ्यो रक्षामहमेव सत्यम कार्यन्ति भवामि तत्वस्य स्वस्ति इत्यभिमानो अपि कुमति. Then I have other wrong thinking. I think that I am the protector of this child who is beyond everything, who is Lokottara, and who is the very life and soul of all the Vraj people. And I think I am his mother. How can I be his mother? And I think I am protecting him. I think that I give charity to Brahmanas, I pray to God and worship some other devas all the time for his protection. I do Vishnu Puja. So then I think that I am giving protection to him. So this is my wrong thinking. There is nothing that I am doing. It's happening all by Narayan's grace. I should just surrender to him. So tato asya swasti yati abhimanopi kumati. So thinking that he is safe, healthy, happy only because of me. So this is my kumati, this is my wrong understanding, wrong thinking. Should give this up. Etavati gokulashvaryasya Shri Vishnuna eva dattatvat tatra yatha abhimana anochityam tatheva teneva kripya datte putna adi arishtebhya pratikshणम पाल्यमाने च परम लोकोत्तरयस्मिन् सुते लौकिक्या गोप जातेर निकृष्टाया अति अयोग्याया मम मातृत्व रक्षितृत्व अभिमानोपि अनौचित्यात् कुमुतिरेव. So he says that all this opulence of Gokula which we have, it is all given by Vishnu. And then I think it is my. So that is highly improper. In the same way, this child was given by Vishnu, by his grace. I got him. And it is he who is protecting him from all the calamities, from all the asuras. And this boy, he is so wonderful, Param Lokottarasmin. And I think that I, who have no qualification, I belong to Gop Jati. I am not a Brahmani, I am not a Kshatriya. I am just a Vaishya lady. How can I be the mother of a boy like him who has qualities like Narayana? So I have none of this. Swati ayogyaya mama matritva kshatritva adi abhimanopi anochityat. So he says that matritva rakshitva, not kshatriya. So therefore it is highly improper for me to think that I am his mother and I am protecting him and I am taking care of him. He says this is my kumati. It's all my wrong idea. People have wrong ideas, right? Everything is happening because of me. If I am not there, nothing will move, right? I am protecting, I am supplying this, I am doing this, I am doing that. So I said I am also thinking like this when everything is being done by Vishnu. So Viveka Jigriksha eva Sri Yashodaya Shanikiya Natu Viveka. So he says that it is not that Yashoda actually had such discrimination suddenly. But for a moment, Vishnu wanted her to also think like this. So Viveka Jigriksha eva Shri Yasodaya Chanikiyam. So that means this understanding, thinking that this is my Kumati, this happened to her momentarily. Because her love for Krishna is so great, how can she not think that I am the mother and he needs my protection? And now I become aloof from this. So Yatha Mahamoha Andhanam api, he gives a very nice example. Because the example to understand devotees are non-devotees. Non-devotees are the best example to understand best of the devotees. So it says, Yatha Mahamoha Andhanam api Vyavaharika Lokanam Kadachitka Paramarthik Prasang Bhava Stri Putra Adi Ashakti Jihasa iti Jayan. So it says, just like people in the material world who are completely steeped in ignorance and have deep attachments to their self, their bodies, possessions and things like that. But sometimes they get frustrated and they want to get rid of it momentarily. Then they come back. So like that, just like these people are Maha Moha Andha, they are absolutely blinded by their attachment. Like that Yashoda has Maha Prema for Krishna. Attachment is so deep. But in this particular moment, he is thinking, I should not have this kind of attachment and I should just surrender to Vishnu. After all, in Gita he says like this, not knowing that it is he, this boy only, who speaks the Gita. So he says, just like that she got the idea momentarily. So itham vidita tattvayam gopikayam sa ishvaraha vaishnavim vyatanonmayam putra snehamayim vibhu. So when this thought came in Yashoda's mind, then Krishna, he got shaken. He says, this is very dangerous idea. So in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Swarup Goswami says that Jnana is not part of bhakti. Sometimes it is little beneficial in the beginning, pravesha, only for entering into it. Otherwise it is not part of bhakti. So he said, what is wrong with my mom? Why she is talking like a jnani? Where this has come in bhakti, this kind of renunciation, right? So, Falgu Vairagya Muchyate. So this kind of Vairagya is considered as futile. So when Krishna is here, he is called as Ishvara. Of course, he is calling it. Maybe Krishna is not thinking like that. So he says at that time, he, the Ishvara, when he understood that his mother is becoming realized, self-realized, and that is not very good for his health. That's why in India people don't want that their family members they take to spiritual life. They always say that if you become sadhu, then how the world will continue. Right? Isn't it? So therefore what he did that, he said, Vaishnavim vyatanon mayam putra sneha mayim vibhu. So then Krishna, he spread his Vaishnavi Maya on her. What is this Vaishnavi Maya? Putra sneha mayi. For a moment, she got out of this gear. She came into the neutral gear. She is always in the fourth gear. And now she was trying to change it. She came to neutral and immediately Krishna pushed the gear back. He says, no. This Leela will not continue if you change gears like this. So therefore he spread his Vaishnavi Maya, not Mahamaya, but Vaishnavi Maya. This is the Antaranga, this is the Yoga Maya. Therefore it is called Putra Sneha Mayi. So there are two types of Mayas, Vaishnavi Maya or Yoga Maya, and then there is a Mahamaya which is bewildering people in the material world. So one makes people turn their mind away from God, makes them averse towards devotion towards God, and the other one makes them attached to God. So Mahamaya makes one attached to the material world, material object, material body, and Yogamaya makes them attached to God. So that's what he did. Therefore it is called Putra Sneha Mayi. So for a short period, her sneha, her affection for Krishna became neutral. So he immediately caught her. So no, this is not allowed. So that's the meaning of Vaishnavim Vyatanon Mayam. So this is Vaishnavi Maya or Maya of Vishnu. This is his Antaranga Shakti or Swarup Shakti. So itthamanena prakarena viditam tattvam mamatva jihasa yaya tasyam yashodayam satyam tarhi kamam lalishyati pratikshanam ka palishyati. So when she became realized like this, or started thinking that this is all Maya and I should just become detached from it. So then Krishna started thinking that if that is the case, then who will call me Lala? Oh my dear baby. So Lala means one who is to be fondled. It's called Lala. Lal means to fondle, to be play, to. So he says, then who is going to fondle with me? And who is going to take care of me? So this is not possible. Ityataha putra sneha mayi. Therefore, he spread his Maya, which is in the form of putra sneha mayi. So swarupe mayat. So in this word putra sneha mayi, there is a mayat pratyaya. So mayat pratyaya is used in the sense of vikara, transformation, or prachurya when there is excess of something, or swarup when something is made of that. So just like jalmaya, sagara. Sagara is jalmaya, full of water. It's not a vikara of water, but it is. Krishna is Anandamaya, means his Swarupa is Ananda, not a vikara or transformation. So therefore Putra Sneha Rupam Prema Vishesham Vyatanot. So therefore this Snehamayi here means Putra Snehamayi, or intense love for himself as son. So this feeling of love immediately, which became little subdued for a second, then it immediately came back. So Mohana Sadharmyan Maya, and because it has the similar characteristic as the Maya of the material world which bewilders us. Just as the material Maya or Mahamaya makes us forget our own Swarupa and makes us think that we are these material bodies and makes us absorbed in material relations and activities, material desires. So similarly, the Yoga Maya or Vaishnavi Maya makes one forget oneself in the sense of just being that I am a spiritual being, but think in relationship with Krishna. And as in the material world, one's life centers around one's own self, then the life here centers around Krishna only. So therefore it is also called Maya. Why both are called Maya? Because in both there is some sort of delusion. In one, the delusion is to forget our spiritual identity and think ourselves as material beings. And another, to forget our spiritual identity as Atma and remain attached to Krishna in relationship. So therefore there. So tencha tam premandham chakar. So their meaning is that just like in the material world we are blinded by Mahamaya, in the spiritual world we are blinded by love. That's why they say love is blind. Right? Love does not have eyes. Eyes means where you can discriminate. If a snake is coming, then you don't go near it because you have eyes. If you don't have eyes, you can step on it. So eyes means through eye we discriminate. So eye blind means not able to discriminate. So in the blindness of love, you don't think that I am Atma, I'm not this body. So that's the blindness. So that is called love is blind. So that's what he did. He made her blind in love. So any question on this? Yes.
Question regarding the first verse, where she said that, that this cannot be, or this Narayana or Supreme Truth, I don't remember, cannot be understood with mind and intellect and karma. So she said, karma bhi docharam anjasa. I was wondering, what does it mean to understand something with karma? Does it mean through activities?
Yeah, I mean if I say that you want to know what is Yamuna, then walk from here, go to Yamuna. So then doing some karma, right?
And then I was wondering if this short insight that Yashoda had, could it be compared to Uddhava's state of mind when he was impressed by the love of the Vrajavasis? That for one moment he was praying to become one of them or become subservient to them, but he did not join them and went back. Something similar, or is it?
Well, you can say
different?
Counter example. Similar means that he is trying to become detached. She is trying to become detached. Uddhava is trying to become attached. So it's not similar in that sense.
Okay, so both kind of switched gear for...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
one moment,
sort of counter example.
As see. One goes up and one goes down.
One is trying to become entangled, other is trying to become disentangled. Anything else? Okay.
One second. I think for some reason we cannot hear Sandeep.
We cannot?
Yes, Sandeep is trying to answer.
Audible?
Yes.
So the point which I was getting is that after seeing Aishwarya, like in the sense all these things in the mouth, this Vairagya is coming. So normally we had like when you discussed like Vairagya can come once you are say going to the cremation ground or something, or some mishap is occurring. But here, after seeing Aishwarya, then Vairagya is coming. I am not able to relate this, how this thing is.
Yeah, it is possible, because means you come to know the glory of God and you think, oh, I'm already stuck in this material stuff. Right? So then it's possible. He sees that God is so great and so much wonderful, and what am I trying to do? I'm running after these cows and these cowherd people and limiting myself to this. I should be actually linking myself to God. Okay.
Oh, Jagna Maharaj had asked a question, but he could not hear him.
Okay, ask again, because this thing was not linked. Now you can speak.
Oh, cheers. I started thinking about this more, but anyway, I was just, where it says Mohana Satarmya Mayam in the last sentence.
What is that?
Just this phrase in the last sentence of the last tika, Mohana Satarmya Mayam.
Yes. So what is the question?
The question was, that means that this Maya that Yashoda was in is like being in a state of illusion,
Yes.
but is not. Correct?
Yeah, it says he has a sadharmya, means similar quality. Sadharmya means saman dharma. So just as Mahamaya, she makes us forget about identity as a spiritual self, Atma, and we become absorbed in the material body and things related to that. So similarly, the Yogamaya makes us forget about that, and we identify with our spiritual body in relationship with Krishna. So then in that sense, there is a sadharmya. In between is the Brahman, Mukti, Jnani who knows that I am not the body. So he's neither bewildered spiritually nor materially.
Okay, beautiful.
A short grammatical question. In the first sentence of the verse, of the commentary on verse 41, it says, Targa agochārasya api vastu no vastutaha karanam bhagavan eva.
Hmm.
So could you really explain what this means? Vastu no vastutaha karanam?
Vastuna means of the objects. Vastu, vastuni, vastuni, vasti, vastuni. Sixth case will become vastuna, of the vastu.
it's not vastu. Manu? Wouldn't it be declined like Manu?
Manu.
Or Vishnu? Vastu?
Vastuna. Vastu is a neuter. And just like there's a nukagama, just like Brahman, Brahmana, Brahmani, Brahm becomes Brahmana. There's a nukagama. So it becomes Vastuna. It's not Purushottam Linga. Madhu also, Madhuni, then it becomes Madhuna. Sixth case. Madhuna, Madhubhya, Madhuna, Madhuni, Madhus. So like that Vastuna. It's important to know that. Grammar. Brahmalinga will come. So the words which are ending in Isha and Brahmalinga, the Nuk comes when they are being followed by Sarveshwar Pratyaya. So Masi and Gus, they are us, beginning with Sarveshwara. So Nuk will come. So Vastu, Nuk plus us, Vastuna.